The other side is there's lots of different, as you mentioned, almost 200 different categories and subcategories of visa types that are out there. The type of visa is important because that tells the person that holds the visa and the people at inspection what that person can do while they're here. So for example, if they come on a visitor visa, what can they do with that? They can visit, right? If they come on a student visa, what can they do with that? They can go to school, right? Yeah. If they come on some type of work visa, say an H-1B professional work visa, the most common work visa, they can work. Now, what happens if they come on the student visa or the visit visa and they want to work, right? Right. It becomes a problem. So that's why the classification of visa, that's what we call it, is so important. What type of visa the person's coming in on determines what they can do while they're here. And the inspection, not the visa validity period, but the inspection determines how long they can do it for, what that time period is. And that's called status. So we're going to be focusing our discussion today on visa, but the concept of status probably comes up as we talk about changing status or adjusting status. I had a question about that. Yeah. Those kinds of things we'll talk about so that everybody understands the visa and the status, two separate things, and you're limited in duration by the status you get when you come in and the classification of visa that you use to enter. Well, yeah, I mean, if you come in without a visa at all, like just illegally, there's a couple of different ways you could do that. One is to just cross the border, Canada or Mexico. It happens, that's right. And that's an entry without inspection or an illegal entry, which means the person has no status because they had no visa when they were coming through inspection, but they're here, right? Yeah. Exactly. Okay. So it's tricky. But then there's also a situation where a person, and we're seeing this a lot lately with what's going on in the world. We've got a crisis in Ukraine, we've got challenges in Central America and the Caribbean, Afghanistan. There's all kinds of issues internationally that we're dealing with. And so there's lots and lots of people coming to the border, which I'm sure everyone's heard about. Yeah. However you feel about that politically, one of the options that people have when they're coming in is to talk to someone that patrols the border, right? A border patrol officer, a CBP officer, and basically can tell their story. This is why I've come here. This is what I'm facing back home. And there is an opportunity for that inspecting officer to actually let them into the country without a visa, but on what's called parole. Or they could let them in just under what's called release on their own recognizance, where they're just allowed into the country while they pursue perhaps an application for political asylum or something like